All right, everyone. Good afternoon. We'll officially call to order the meeting of the River Ridge Development Authority. Today is August 18th, 2025. It is 2:13 p.m. We'll begin our meeting with the roll call. I am Treva Hodges, board member.
Ed Meyer, board member.
Brian Linford, board member.
Greg Pfeiffer, general counsel.
Tony Bennett, board member.
Eric Ballinger, board member.
Mark Hildenbrand, executive director.
Michael Caruso, River Ridge.
Renee Tarpley-Lyman, River Ridge. Jill Elka, River Ridge. Julianne Burke, River Ridge.
Eric Lauer, River Ridge.
Josh Sagan, River Ridge.
She's with all three.
Wendy Danchester, River Ridge.
John Kraft, Max Construction.
Bob Stein, United States Board.
And him?
Andre Hill, Charles County Fire Department.
Jeremy Nichols, River Ridge.
Dale Hall.
Keith Miller, Central Painter.
Selena Berger, Architect.
Bobby Campbell, Prime Meeting.
Seth Winslow, Strange Associates, Shane Weiser, trustee.
John Watson, Southern Indiana.
Thank you all very much. Mr. Hildenbrand, can you confirm that the meeting was properly advertised?
Yes, it was.
All right. We have our minutes from our meeting on July 21st. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Meyer,
Second.
second by Mr. Linford. Any edits or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. I have no comments of any special nature. We'll move straight into staff reports. Mr. Hildenbrand, our executive director.
Thank you, Mayor Hodges. Obviously, there was a lot covered in executive session with my report. I did want to let the board members know that I was the keynote speaker last Thursday night for the River Hills annual dinner. I thought it went pretty well. Got some good feedback from it. But one of the things that we did unveil at that meeting was our mid-year update video. So rather than going through a report or anything like that, I think we wanted to just show everyone this video, and this is what we'll be using to help market, and I think it's a really good thing. I will call out Abby. She was a big part of coordinating all the efforts with Xtoll, our outside consultant. All the people that you'll see in this video, she was a part of all the interviews and was the contact person back and forth. And then obviously Wendy and Josh had a big part in it too, writing scripts and all those kind of things. So excited for you all to see it. I know a couple have already seen it, but go ahead, Michael, please. Progress is collaboration. Progress is innovation. Progress is bold. At River Ridge, progress is the expectation, and our progress wouldn't be possible without you. Through collaborative partnerships, a commitment to innovation, and bold investment in infrastructure, the future is bright for our entire region. Together, we are building a foundation for growth that benefits businesses of all sizes, from local entrepreneurs to global leaders, creating opportunities for the Southern Indiana region.
As a representative of the town of Utica, I appreciate the ongoing collaboration and support we receive from River Ridge. River Ridge has contributed to our community, such as donating land to the town and helping improve access to areas like Paul Garrett Avenue. These efforts reflect a continued investment not just in the economic development, but in the well-being of communities like Utica and others across Clark County and Southern Indiana. Thank you, River Ridge.
At River Ridge, we are constantly looking for ways to improve our infrastructure, both for the benefit of businesses located at the park and for the surrounding community. To help alleviate traffic congestion on State Road 62, the River Ridge team is undertaking a project to extend a heavy haul road through the Commerce Center all the way to our northern border. When complete, this will provide an alternative thoroughfare through River Ridge for passenger and cargo vehicles straight to I-265.
Being part of this transformation at River Ridge has been exciting for America Place. Throughout the past decade, America Place has made a substantial investment within River Ridge because we believe in this community and the competitive advantages that come with investing and owning buildings within the Commerce Center. We have actually just recently finished our 9th building at River Ridge. 7 of those are industrial properties, and 2 are Class A office buildings, which includes our own corporate headquarters. In what was once perceived to be an unusual location to find arts and culture, the growth within River Ridge has helped bring a new vision to life.
Dan Christiani Excavating has enjoyed a strong partnership with River Ridge throughout the years. We have had the privilege of working on many projects, from public infrastructure to private developments. Their commitment to partnering with local companies like ours makes us feel like we're an important piece of the success at River Ridge over the last 20 years.
When people think of economic development, they often picture big factories and big numbers. But at its core, it's about people. River Ridge is fueling job growth, attracting investment, and supporting the kind of development that changes lives right here in Southern Indiana. Thanks to strategic infrastructure investments and a long-term vision, we're seeing new opportunities emerge for skilled tradespeople, small business owners, and families who want to live and work in a thriving community. From a regional perspective, River Ridge is one of the most impactful economic engines we have, but its real power is how it empowers the local people to build their futures close to home.
At Ivy Tech, we're proud to be part of the progress happening at River Ridge. With office space located inside the River Ridge Development Authority headquarters, we're more closely connected than ever to the businesses we serve. This partnership allows us to create tailored training programs and employment pipelines for companies within the Commerce Center. Whether it's advanced manufacturing, logistics, or life sciences, that means better opportunities for our local residents and a stronger workforce for the businesses that call River Ridge home.
River Ridge isn't just a strategic location for Amazon, it's a game changer. Here, we're not only closer to our customers, but we're also tapped into robust transportation infrastructure and a powerhouse of highly skilled local talent. More than logistics, we're proud to be creating good-paying jobs and building careers right here in Southern Indiana. The local workforce doesn't just support this mission, they're our neighbors, and together, we're bringing opportunities that strengthen the entire community.
Progress is partnerships. Our local partners, whether they are in construction, real estate development, local government, or leading private companies, make progress possible. Together, we are building a thriving region for everyone, and we're just getting started. Be happy to answer any questions that any of the board members have about any of that, or my report.
Are any questions?
Nicely done. Very nice. Thank you.
Great. Next, we'll hear from our Senior Director of Planning and Operations, Mr. Vitito.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Board. I will be brief. Let's start at the top. From the environmental side of things, Track 31B, we had tentatively planned a trip to Washington, D.C. to meet with the Corps. That's going to be pushed back to October right now. We're still working out the details on that, so we'll have more to share on that later. Intersection streetlights. We still have a number of intersections out here that we're working with Duke on. We're working through contract language on there. They have changed some things that are making it just a tad more difficult than what it used to be. In terms of marketing, we've done 70 client RFIs to date in 2025, and Josh will go into more detail, but things have certainly slowed a little bit. 2025 project reviews and approvals. We've had a little bit of activity here of late. The Track 28 development plans are here, they're under review. Building signage, we've got some names that are changing out here. And one thing that's not on there that has come in since this report was authored is a schematic plan for Track 27A, which is a big project up on the north end. Potential. Let's see, outside activities. There's a lot of vegetation removal going on in the form of bush hogging. I won't get too far down in the weeds on that.
I got it.
Thank you, somebody.
I was going to say no pun intended.
Sorry, all right. That's why my reports are always short. You guys know that now. Let's see, our CCR updates. We had a great meeting this past week with Greg and Alan Applegate and Mark and myself, and feel like we're really close. And right now we're shooting for September to come and present this back to the board in the form of a resolution for an updated set of CCRs that we're ready to adopt. Site inspections are ongoing. Mowing is a big issue just because of the rainfall this year. One other thing I wanted to add here, we met with the Louisville Zoo late this past week, and we're going to work with them on the construction of a pollinator garden out here around the lake. I want to tip my hat to Wendy. She used her relationship with some folks there, and we had a great roundtable discussion, so there'll be more to report on that. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Tom, does it make sense to add future traffic signal logo on our vicinity map here to where you're going to potentially see traffic lights inside the park?
I'm going to say no. I think that we need to put just a little bit more thought into that first.
Well,
And-
if that becomes what we do, yes. So we're working on a study right now, the International Drive Corridor with United Consulting. They're going to make some recommendations based on the counts that they've done. So I think more to come on that in the next couple of months. But eventually, if there are things like that are happening interior, yes, we will get it added to the map for sure.
So, not to be curt, but just to, once we get more information, we know where they're going to occur, absolutely, I think we would show those.
Any other questions for Tom? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Caruso, our Director of Construction and GIS.
Hello there. All right, so July's been busy. Hit some highlights here. International Drive water main. We've got about, this was as of Wednesday, 1,600 feet in the ground. So that's moving along well. Track 19C sanitary sewer. The force mains are all in. And all of the gravity sewers in. They're started to work on lift station. Patrol road realignment. They started paving today. Big thing that we're expecting to have Paul Garrett Avenue open for traffic by the end of August.
Yes, it will happen.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yes. Yes. Penny Martin Phase 3, mass cut and fill done. You know, we're almost ready for stabilization. There are just a couple things holding that up. And that's those are the highlights, and you guys are welcome to ask me about anything else that
Are there any questions for Michael? Michael, how often do you update the aerial?
So we get a annual update.
Okay.
We usually Eric usually tries to fly it in June. I think we did fly it in June this year. That's when everything's nice and green. So yeah, we got that out in record time, I feel like.
Okay, good. Good deal. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Our engineering project manager, Eric Lauer.
Yes, most of my report's going to come later in resolutions. But the two things I will talk about are Miami Trail Phase 2. We've got the plans back from United on that, and those are being reviewed currently. We hope to bid that towards the end of the year for construction next year. And then the other one is Jenny Lind Lift Station is what we've been calling it, but the Charlestown's lift stations. We had a meeting with Dan Crisciani, HWC, and the city of Charlestown on July 28th to kind of coordinate some items and make sure everybody knows what everyone needs, and talk about the route through River Ridge and make sure that it's going to serve all of our needs. But yes, the new aerial has been installed, and we've got some in all the conference rooms around here now, so it's nice to finally be able to point to all the buildings that have popped up over the past year. But I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions for him? Thank you. Chief Director of Corporate Strategy and External Affairs, Ms. Wendy Danchesser.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. There was a short report in your packet, and I'll just highlight a couple of the items for that. First, We are excited. We've been talking about the development of a new website. We hope to be ready to launch by the first week of September. We've set a goal with our consultant on that for August 29th, and hopefully we'll go live shortly thereafter. So fingers crossed, but we're excited for everyone to see that. We've hosted a couple of meetings in this room since our last gathering as a board. We hosted DNR, their executive staff, for meetings and a tour on July 22nd. And on July 31st, the State of Indiana Comptroller was also here. She was visiting with the town of Utica, and we hosted the luncheon in conjunction with that meeting. Several of you were in attendance or aware of those meetings. Staff took a tour on on August 8th of the Meta Center, the Metadata Center, and it was remarkable to go over and see how the construction is coming along. They are at peak construction now, and it was estimated that they would have about 1,250 employees on site during construction. Only 75 of those are Meta employees, are Turner employees. The rest are contractors, and the majority of their contractors are coming anywhere from Indianapolis down to south of Louisville and Lexington area. So the region is seeing a true benefit from the work being done at Meta, and it's impressive to say the least. The fence project in conjunction, or along the property line with the Crystal Springs development, we are just about complete with that, and I just really want to thank Jeremy and the team here for managing that project. The neighbors, while they were out there, of course it was 95 degrees, and the neighbors were very appreciative, but at the same time there were always kinks to be worked out. So Tom and Eric and the team here did a great job with that as well. And finally, if you got to see Delana in the video, but she's still working on the Ivy Tech marketing and business development, and she has a project management class confirmed that starts in September, and they'll have 12 students from one of the River Ridge companies in that. So excited that we're moving forward on a lot of the different pieces of the communications and marketing strategies.
Great. Are there any questions for Wendy?
It's next on the agenda.
We'll have her back up. And then finally, for staff reports, we have our Senior Director of Business Development and Real Estate, Mr. Staten.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Most of my report was discussed under code name and executive session. We are I know Mr. Vitito mentioned that we have responded to 70 new projects this year. We're currently working 38 distinct projects in the pipeline, with 6 of those having been shortlisted at this time. On August 7th, we hosted the morning session of Greater Louisville Inc.'s FAM Tour. They had 5 site selectors on site here. We presented on behalf of River Ridge. There was also a speaker from the Federal Reserve and several other groups that got to speak, so we were happy to host that group, happy to make that interaction and get them out here to see the site. On August 13th and 14th, we were up in Indianapolis. I think Wendy and Dan Chester and myself for the IEDA Summer Conference, Indiana Economic Development Association. And then just one of the things under the community relations section, we hosted Aspire Johnson County. Mark Hildenbrand and myself, that's their economic development organization. Sometimes we get groups that want to come down and see what we've got going on throughout the state. We hosted them and gave them a tour throughout the area to show all we've got going on and just kind of how we operate here. Happy to answer any questions you guys might have.
Any questions? Thanks, John. All right, and what Greg was showing Ms. Chester, have the standard operating procedure approval, and Wendy will make the recommendation on that on behalf of staff.
Thank you. It was so exciting that Greg just couldn't wait for it. We presented a document for your approval, which you did, and thank you for that in July. However, the best laid plans sometimes find a little kink. So what we have in front of you is a revised plan, very similar to what you saw before. Some of the tweaks include notifications, how those will be delivered, and recommendations from how the executive director will then be making those recommendations. We also will adjust the way that we are requesting the quotes that come in from companies, just to avoid any confusion. I want to again thank Billy Ann and Jill for all the work that they've done on this, and I think that we're very comfortable moving forward. You won't see this unless there's another big surprise that we don't anticipate.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the revision to the standard operating procedures?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Ballinger. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brian Linkford. Are there any questions on this?
Billy Ann, you comfortable with this? Okay, thank you.
That's all you need. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Move into our resolutions at this time. We have Resolution 43, 2025. Mr. Lauer will be making that resolution on behalf of staff, and Mr. Linford has that on behalf of the board.
Yes, this is our annual pavement repairs contract. This includes all of River Ridge Parkway, a majority of Paul Garrett Avenue, Lentz Avenue, as well as Patrol Road. And the idea with this was to have a fresh asphalt route, basically from International Drive all the way to Charlestown. Once the 2 phases of Penny Martin and Patrol Road are complete, you'll have a brand new road basically the entire way. So with that, we had a bid opening for the 2025 pavement repairs. We had 4 contractors submit bids. These have been reviewed by the staff, and the bid tab is attached. The funding source will be operations, and it is the staff recommendation that the most responsible, responsive, and cost-effective bid was submitted by E&B Paving in the amount of $755,900. With that, I'll ask for the board's consideration of Resolution 43, 2025.
Mr. Linford?
Make a motion to approve resolution number 43-2025, approving the award of the 2025 pavement repairs contract to E&B Paving for $755,900.
I will second that motion. Are there any questions?
Can I just add a brief bit of information to it? Eric mentioned operations. The reason that is operations because this is part of the Property Owners Association. So this will be funded in part by the members of that association. We still fund, River Ridge still funds 40% or so of that, but the rest will be funded by the property owners that are in the association.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Mr. Lauer now has the staff recommendation for Resolution 44. Mr. Linford has that on behalf of the board.
Yes, this is for the State Road 62 intersections improvements. We chose to break this out from our pavement repairs contract because this involved some drainage issues that were being repaired in those intersections, as well as reinstalling all the traffic loop signals, and the permitting was different being next to 62, so it was more convenient to separate these out, and that's why there will be a different funding source as well for 2024 bans on this. We had 2 contractors submit bids, and they were reviewed by American Structure Point and the staff, and a bid tabulation is attached. It is staff recommendation that the most responsible, responsive, and cost-effective bid was submitted by MAC with an amount of $434,705.56. With that, I'll ask for the board's consideration.
Mr. Linford?
Make a motion to approve resolution number 44-2025, awarding the 62 intersection improvement contract to Matt Construction for $434,705.56.
Do we have a second?
Second.
So
Second by
before,
Dr.
before
Bennett.
you vote, I've caught a typo. If you go down to the price in the action paragraph at the bottom, it says and $56/$100, which is correct, and then it needs to be deleted, and no $100 should be stricken.
My motion includes that amendment. Second.
We have a motion to make the amendment by Mr. Linford and a second to make that amendment by Dr. Bennett. Are there any other questions or edits? Voting on the amended resolution number 44, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Mr. Lauer, we're keeping you busy today. Have you as staff recommendation for our next resolution, number 45, on the Track 16G sanitary sewer, and Mr. Meyer has that on behalf of the board.
Thank you. This is for the sanitary sewer relocation on Track 16G. We had met with the City of Jeffersonville Wastewater Department to discuss the options on this. There is a gravity line and a force main that run next to each other through the middle of the site. We met with them to discuss the options of consolidating that to one single gravity line, and they were in favor of that. So that's what we're going to proceed with. We asked Clark Dietz to submit a proposal to design the work, and they returned with an amount of $28,305 for design, not to exceed, for the design, and a not to exceed amount of $5,000 for the bidding and $5,000 for construction admin, totaling $38,305. And it is the staff's recommendation that this is consistent with the effort to complete the scope of services, and the funding source will be 2024 bands. With that, I'll ask for the board's consideration.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Make a motion for resolution number 45-2025 is a resolution approving the track 16G sanitary sewer relocation consultant contract for guides for the total amount of $38,305.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ballinger. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. And I think this is your last one, Mr. Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution 46 on the Gateway Sanitary Sewer Phase 3, and Dr. Bennett has that resolution.
Yes, the Gateway Sewer Phase 3 project is to collect the discharge from the dual force mains coming from the lift station behind Canadian Solar. The funding source for this project will be the 2024 bands. And we had 7 contractors submit bids, and there is a bid tabulation attached. It is the staff recommendation that the most responsible, responsive, and cost-effective bid was submitted by All Terrain Paving and Construction with an amount of $1,573,285. With that, I'll ask for the board's consideration.
Dr. Bennett?
I have a motion to approve resolution 46-2025. Motion is to approve All Terrain Paving and Construction LLC in the amount of $1,573,285.
You have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Linford? Any questions?
I'll just add to this one. This resolution was tabled last month after some discussion. Myself, Greg, and Michael met with the contractor after last month at the direction of the board and laid out the requirements for this contract and what was going to be expected of them. And they assured us that they would do everything they could to make sure that they accommodated those requests. So we felt comfortable with making the recommendation to move forward with All Terrain.
Great. Are there any other questions?
Thank you for the follow-up, gentlemen.
Welcome.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Our last resolution for the day is number 47 on the Water System Resiliency Project, presented by staff by Mr. Caruso, and Mr. Ballinger has that for the board.
Hello there again. All right, this is change order 4. So there were some, in addition to the other work that we've done on site there for the Slugger Water Main Project, which is also known as the RRCC Water System Resiliency Project. All right, so we had some overrun quantities. This is the final balancing change order with an increase of $93,430.04. It's been reviewed by HWC and staff here, and it does not exceed the 20%. And the funding source of this change order will be the operating funds. It is part of, some of this is reimbursed by Meta, but the actual cost to River Ridge is roughly $54,000 because we didn't feel like all of this was Meta's responsibility. I leave that for your consideration, but I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you. Mr. Ballinger?
Yeah, I move that we approve resolution 47-2025, the River Ridge Commerce Center Water System Resiliency Project Division A construction contract change order, adding the sum of $93,430.04.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I heard you both at the same time. All right, I heard Mr. Meyer first. I'll give that one to him. Are there any questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. This time we'll have our controller's report presented by Ms. Durrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You saw all of your accounting reports covering the period through the end of July. On August 1, we made bond principal and interest payments of $3.4 million, and our next payments are due on February 1. We do already have the funds set aside for the February payments. And this month's claims are in the amount of $2,366,846.25. Of that, $1.5 million is the a draw on the ban, $200,000 of restricted TIF funds, and $650,000 of operating funds. I'm happy to answer your questions.
We have the claims presented. Is there a motion to approve?
Just a quick question. Billy, why do we switch credit card providers?
Because the prior credit card was based upon a personal, one person's signature, and this was our opportunity to switch to a corporate credit card.
Great, great.
If something had happened to Jerry, the whole thing would have been shut down.
Well, that's a good reason to change.
Make a motion to approve the claims of $2,366,846.25.
We have a motion by Brian Limpert. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Ed Meyer. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Claim sheet will be coming around. Everybody please sign. And at this time, I would open the floor for our attorney's comments.
Yeah, I've got, a little out of the ordinary, but I've got 2 action items to present for you for consideration. First, as Mark has gotten settled in, he's identified a preference for leaving his office in its present location and better utilizing Jerry's old office and the space that Renee occupies, and that's the primary improvements that are contemplated. And so we're asking that the board authorize using a build, operate, transfer procedure, much like we did for the current water treatment plant expansion project. It will require the appointment of 3 committee members and authorization to proceed. They will take requests for proposals and qualifications, make a recommendation to you for selection of a contractor, and then we'll negotiate a maximum bid amount, a maximum price. And if assuming you authorize that by resolution, then and only then will monies be expended on the effort. But asking for board authorization to utilize that with Mark, Michael, and Brian Linford as the committee members.
Sure.
I'll make a motion to make that authorization. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Meyer. Are there any questions from the board on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous.
Secondly, as you're no doubt aware, we've been in extended negotiations with the city of Jeffersonville that resulted in a police services contract for 2025, but have to date reached no resolution for fire services. The statute also says it can be utility services, so since they're the sewer provider here, you have paid a prorated amount for 2025 under the police services contract in the amount of $332,191.72. After negotiations with city officials, it's my recommendation that that contract be immediately terminated, that they be excused from providing the dedicated police services under that contract going forward, and that we approve an additional $1.7 million payment for 2025 for fire and utility services as well. So it'll be all 3 of the services in this new agreement, but with no specific scope of work for any of those entities, but just $1.7 million to do with as they see fit, plus whatever's left over that's not expended from the $332,000. And so if you authorize that by motion, it would be my intent to bring a draft contract to that effect back to you to your September meeting for your consideration and approval of that, and that the payment would then be made to Jeffersonville after they fully execute the contract, adopt and execute the contract as well.
How quick can the current police services contract be terminated? Can that be?
What it says is that automatically terminates if we give notice at least 90 days ahead of time that we're not renewing it, it terminates at the end of the year. What I'm suggesting is, I think with your consent, it can terminate with this vote.
Today.
Immediately. Subject to the drafting and execution of the new agreement.
Will you draft communication to them to that effect?
They would like that ASAP.
Well, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone for a week, so they'll have to wait till I get back next week.
Can you just draft an email?
Yeah, I can do that.
An email just letting them
Let them know
I
it's
think that's,
coming.
I think that's
Yeah.
what you're asking, right?
I can do that this afternoon.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're not in breach if they stop
Yeah, correct.
performing that service.
Right,
Yeah.
that they're not in breach of
We're
contract when they
waiving
stop.
any
Yes.
claim for breach.
Correct.
I think that's what they want.
Do we have a motion?
So based on that, I would make a motion that we authorize the $1.7 million offer for general police, fire, and utility services contract with the City of Jeff, allowing the current police services agreement to terminate immediately and notify them immediately.
I'll do that.
And then, and that would also authorize them to use the remaining balance of the police services contract at their will in their general contract. And then also authorize you to negotiate the future services contract for fire, police, utility
Correct.
with the City of
I'll
Jeffersonville.
try to have that done by middle of next week.
So we have that in the form of a motion by Mr. Ballinger. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Dr. Bennett. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Mr. Pfeiffer, any other material?
The last item I've got is really for information purposes only. And I think the board is probably pretty up to date on this, but the audience may not be. As you've driven around the area around our office here, there used to be signs up basically advertising office park property for sale. And those signs are gone, and until now, I couldn't really disclose why or how, but basically effective June 19th, we terminated the master development agreement we had with the office park developer Hollenbach Oakley LLC. The reasons for that were, and I'll be real brief about this, but on April 24th, Josh got an email from a nice lady in Lexington, Kentucky representing an eye surgery center. He then had conversations with her that said, we'd like to consider building a surgery center. We'd like to enter the Louisville market and build a surgery center, perhaps at River Ridge, and like to see what you have. So Josh then, and she then suggested they probably wanted to build something like 20,000 square feet, which is pretty close to the surgical center across the lake here. But they thought they only needed 2 acres. That's on 3 acres, but pretty much the same kind of a facility. Josh then told her, I got to put you together with Hollenbach Oakley. They'll walk you through the steps, and we'd love to have you here. So with that, we go another 10 days or so, don't hear anything. And Josh gets copied on an email, perhaps inadvertently, but it basically disclosed confirming that the representative would come with Hollenbach Oakley to River Ridge on the following morning, and but then says, then we can schedule plant side for afternoon. The other 2 locations really don't fit what we are looking for. So when I was presented with this, it's my opinion that that's a breach of their good faith, a breach of their duty of good faith and fair dealing under Indiana common law that applies to contracts that include a duty of good faith, and this one does. So on May 12th, I issued them a written notice of default under the terms of the agreement and sent a courtesy email that morning. And within 2.5 hours, we had a flurry of activities between attorneys going forward. They produced some additional emails, one of which was sent on May 12th, about 2 hours after I emailed the default notice to them that said, confirmed a tour of the plant side property, which is Hollenbach Oakley's Blankenbaker Station Office Park, and to confirm that N.A. Isaac, another broker, will be your representative moving forward for the Louisville requirement, in addition to the opportunities we're exploring for a surgical center at the Gateway Office Park. So with that, they presented nothing to us that thought it cured a breach of trust, a breach of fiduciary duty that they also owed us as our agent. And so on June 19th, we served by special process server the notice of termination and have ceased making all payments since. And from this point forward, our RDA staff will be marketing the office park property directly. With that, that concludes my remarks.
Are there any questions for Mr. Piper? Hearing none, we had no one sign up for public comment. Are there any board members that had any final comments? Staff? With that, we just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Limpert. I'll second. All in favor of adjournment,